So we all heard of AI. We've heard it our entire lives. We've seen it in movies, everything from the Terminators movies till Will Smith's I, Robot. But now, today, especially within the last year or so, AI has become very prevalent in our day-to-day. More so, I've been seeing a lot of talk about how it's going to affect fashion because AI is being used for fashion. And people are asking, like, is this the beginning or end of fashion? Yes and no. I see a lot of positives and a lot of negatives. It's a slippery slope, but it's something I think we need to discuss. So let's discuss. Next, here on Making the Brand. What's up, everybody? Rob Norman here from Planet Brooklyn Academy Clothing Company, and this is Making the Brand, the series where I give you a little insider knowledge of how to start a clothing line, and if you already have one, how to make it better. Always, before we start, please hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything I drop when it drops. And also, please stay to the very end of this episode. There's a PSA I put on there talking about a masterclass that I am doing for the month of June here in New York City. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So, AI and fashion. You know, earlier this semester when I was teaching, I had a student who was working on their project, developing their brand, and they wanted to develop some clothing to go along with their brand to show for their presentation. And my student used AI to generate the designs for his line. It looked really great, but again, here's where the problem came in. You know, they used AI to generate clothing for them. And for his particular line, it kind of works for what he was doing. He was doing this very techno, futuristic type of line. So I can understand him using this. But on the grander scale of things, I'm looking at this as this being a problem. Because when you're looking at designers, so many creative people who want to go into fashion study this for years as a craft. And when someone can sit down and just input some information into a computer and it generates it for them, that's where I see there being a problem. Actually, there's another YouTuber that I caught up with watching their videos. I don't know them, but I happen to see their video. And literally they talked about creating a clothing brand using AI. In like 12 minutes, they created a total brand name, logo, tagline, all that they created just using AI. They used chat, GPT to generate the names and everything like that. And then after that, they took it over to Microsoft's AI to help generate logos. And again, I don't know who this YouTuber was or anything like that, but what I got from looking at that was they weren't creative. There's no creativity in that and what they did. Basically, they just sat there and typed in words saying, hey, I want to create a line that is similar to this. And they put that in there, and then it came up with a bunch of names similar to that. Then they said, I need something that fits with the brand. Give me a tagline. It came up with the tagline. And like I said, they went over and created a logo saying, I want something like this. It gave them a bunch of ones. They selected it. No creativity at all. And that's where the problem lies with AI. Because when you have people who have spent most of their lives dedicated to learning the craft of creating a clothing line, when someone has such a great love for wanting to create something like a brand, and they sit there and come up with a name that really means something, that's creativity. Those lines have something that AI doesn't have. And the thing that has is a soul. And that's the biggest difference between AI and people who actually sit down and create clothing lines and clothing brands. What they create has a life, has a soul. What AI creates is very hollow. They give you what information you put into it, it's what it generates. Okay, so it's going based off an algorithm and information. That's all it can generate. AI is not created to the point where it can actually understand feelings and emotions. When we create clothing brands, we are putting our personal feelings into it. Every name, every tagline, every clothing piece has a part of us in it. Because when you think about it, there's something that we create. When we create a line for the season, What we're creating for that season is something that we feel. We're looking at what's going on in the world around us. That may generate a feel for us to want to design something for that season. Or there may be a song that comes on that generates an entire mood for us for that season for us to design for. That's not the same thing that happens when a computer does that. So when an individual sits there and just types in some words to create a clothing brand, they're not creating anything solid. Also, a problem with that is that they're not creating something that will have longevity. Because again, when we generate or create these clothing brands, we have a goal, we have a mission. We want this clothing line or brand to carry on. We want it to go along long enough that we can pass it along to our children. We want it long enough that we can expand beyond just our neighborhoods or our cities or our country. We want to go beyond that, but we want it to mean something to people when they buy these garments. And that's how I feel that no matter what you do with AI, creative people will always win out. So in the fashion industry, no matter how much you may want to push AI, I still think the creative individual will always win out who creates the brand, not the computer that creates the brand. But on the other hand of that, I do believe that AI can work in tandem with someone being creative. Everything takes balance. You have to use a little bit of everything to balance. We can push creativity forward along with technology, but we have to do it, hand in hand. Now, some people are better at certain things than others. Now, if you're a great designer, you may not be a great copywriter, and AI can write the copy for you that you need. But the way you use that is that you put it in there and you give it that flavor that you need after you get it back from AI. AI will give you the outline, but if you go in there and tweak it and add your flavor and your thoughts, it should be used basically to give you a structure, not something that it gives you that you just run and put it out online as that being your bio or whatever. You need to give it yourself. You got to give a piece of yourself to whatever it's generating. So that's how you give that context to whatever AI is creating. So it becomes a blend of two things. So in that perspective, if you're going to use AI mixed in with fashion, I think it's fine. I don't think it will be the downfall of fashion. I think it's just the evolution of fashion. But when you sit there and just allow AI to just do it, I feel that us as humans start to lose creativity. We're starting to not use this anymore because we're relying on the computer, to do the thinking for us. If you remember the movie Wally by Pixar, if you remember in the movie that there's a part of it where all the humans lived on ships and they were fat and they just, lazy. They didn't do anything because all the robots and everything did everything for them. Okay, they got so lax. I see the same thing in that happening to us with AI. That it's not that we're gonna get fat and lazy, it's that mentally we're gonna lose a lot because we're not gonna use our brains to do anything. We're gonna rely on everything else to be done by AI. And that's where the problem is. We cannot become so reliant on a computer to do things for us. Because remember, who created the computers? We did. So we have to keep pushing forward and keep creating. So don't let the idea of AI coming into fashion, make you panic and think like, oh my God, like I'm not ever gonna be able to, win out over computers. That's not the thing. You can always use it to your advantage. Now, I have nothing against anybody beating the system, finding a way to beat the system. If you find a way to beat the system, great. But coming from a creative background, that I have less of a respect for when people can just sit there and type in something and put it out there. When, someone like myself or you watching this video has spent time trying to create something that means a lot to you. And you got to go up against something else that has no meaning. So at the end of the day, try to find a way to make, technology and what you know how to do work perfectly well together. But don't try to, I'm just gonna sit there and use AI, try to meld it. I think at the end of the day, creativity will always win out because as creatives, we are always trying to solve a problem. Visually, mentally, whatever it is, we're trying to solve a problem. And AI just helps us in that process. So we have to, kind of put it together. But I'm curious to know what you guys think, because this is a very interesting topic. So whatever your thoughts are, leave it in the comment section below and let's discuss it because it is here to stay. AI is only going to get bigger and be used in more things. So let's think about how we can use it and not lose ourselves in the technology. All right, that's it for this episode. As I said before, please stay to the end of this. Check out the PSA. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. All right, peace. Woo! What's up, everybody? Rob Norman here from Planet Brooklyn Academy Clothing Company. I just want to come on here really quick just to let you guys know, if you live in the New York area or you're going to be in the New York area on Sunday, June 25th, I will be doing a masterclass on how to build a fashion brand. So if you have any ideas or visions of starting your own streetwear brand or children's wear line or any type of clothing brand for that matter, this is the seminar you will want to attend. Don't know how many other times there will be seminars similar to this, and I don't know when the next time I'm going to do a seminar like this. But for all of those of you who follow my channel and also ask a lot of questions, here's an opportunity for you to really learn the ins and outs of how to build a clothing brand. As many of you already know, I am a professor at the Fashion Institute of Technology here in New York City, and I wrote the course on how to build a fashion brand at the school. So everything I teach my students in 15 weeks, you're going to learn in 4 hours with me. So again, this is going to be a boot camp style course, but again, you're going to get to learn all the things I teach in my other classes. So great opportunity for us to build together, ask questions, a one-on-one here opportunity. So highly recommend you take this course if you're going to be in town. Come take it. It costs a little bit for the class, but again, it doesn't cost nearly as much as anything you would pay for a college course. And you're getting all this for 4 hours. So check the link below. Sign up. There's an early bird special right now if you sign up early. So again, you get it a lot cheaper. But again, this is something that you guys, I really recommend you taking because again, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to cover a lot of topics. And again, you're going to get a lot of the jewels that I drop with my students in my college courses. All right, so I look forward to seeing you all there on June 25th. Catch you later, all right? Peace.